And welcome to another update on Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to chop around in this wedge pattern. I'm not gonna talk about the daily chart here in this video because we did that yesterday extensively. But here on the short-term chart, Bitcoin continues to move up in a price channel, so that is something to be aware of. Definitely worth tracking. Bitcoin so far has not been able to break out of it. In addition to that, what we see is that Bitcoin consolidates below the 88.7 Fibonacci retracement, which is located here at $104,688. That's the key level because it seems like it's a breakout point. Now, it's relevant because, first of all, it's one of the main Fibonacci retracement levels and acts as resistance, and is basically the last, you could say the last main resistance before Bitcoin attacks the January high. Yeah, I mean, we can say maybe this swing high here around 106,430 just because it's a swing high. But at the moment we're holding just below, and it's such a relevant level. You see that we're holding just below the 88.7 retracement. Now, any push above could send the market here to the January highs around $109,000. This is also the next level above here, highlighted in red, around 109,320, the starting point from where the Fibonacci levels to the downside were measured. So overall, I think the Bitcoin chart is not too interesting. I think the altcoin charts show a little bit more movement. That is positive. That is something that we often see on the Bitcoin chart. This kind of high sideways consolidation, high consolidation, and then the altcoins can catch up. This environment is good for altcoins, and overall I'm waiting for a signal that Bitcoin has formed the top. So that's been the message over the weekend as well, and the price hasn't really moved since then. A little higher, but really we have not really broken above the Saturday high yet. Yeah, with this wick, but again, it was just a wick. But it shows that the bulls are trying to push higher. At the same time, it shows the bears are there, so you can really literally see the fight between the bulls and the bears. That's very, very interesting. And this pattern could probably be best described either as a B-wave rally, which would be wave B, in a still unfolding wave 4, which can happen if the bears take the lead short term, but the bulls can still hold support. So if we see a move down, back into Fibonacci support, micro support, which is unchanged, between 102,130 and 99,900. Well, that would be seen as just a wave 4 correction probably, and then we can still go higher, okay, as long as 99,900 holds. To be fair, I would prefer that even if that happens, the pullback isn't too deep, so it might just hold above support or so, because otherwise, with that high B wave, it would turn into a very deep wave 4, and that would be a little bit too deep really for a fourth wave. But I've only listed that with a question mark anyway, because technically speaking, the move to the upside is complete. We're just waiting here for the market to finish the last upside adjustments. But anyway, all I'm saying is, if we come down, break out of the wedge to the downside, and it's a corrective move, and the bulls can defend the support area, we still have no top signal in place. Okay, I've learned over the years, we don't want to confirm a price top until we really get trend change signals. And someone asked me yesterday in our member live stream, by the way, the recording is still available if you're interested, check it out. We covered nearly 40 coins and talked about the S&P and so on. But someone asked me, what is a trend change signal? And there is a video in our Elliott Wave tutorial playlist on this channel about how a trend change works. But basically, we need a break below key support in 5 waves. So if I see something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be okay, but it could simply be the wave C in the wave 4, right? So it takes a break below support, 5 waves below support, and that could mean we need 5 waves, there's this, another 5 waves, and then we have a larger 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be a solid trend change signal. But really, I think at this point, any change of support would be already substantial enough for a first confirmation. A top is in, yeah? But anyway, for now, the market continues to move in the range here in this tight channel, and we have to watch for breakout signals. They could obviously still go higher, absolutely. Why? Because the trend it's not exhausted, yeah? Price action looks a bit tired, absolutely, but, the bulls are still trying. There's no sign we've started a downtrend. I mean, this is not, in my view, a time to be bearish, just cautious, okay? I want to double down on that. Sometimes people think there's time to be bearish just because the wave count is full, but the trend is still up. And I can still make a case for an extension in wave 5, absolutely. Also, I highlighted in my video yesterday, if we do not get a breakdown in the B wave before the price breaks above the January high, well, I assume that wave B already happened. Yeah, I mean, this might have been the B wave pullback. And we're already in a C wave up, and we might go to 130K directly, which is still my long-term, not long-term target, my cycle target, the next one. First ideal cycle target. Not the maximum, but has been my milestone target for quite some time. And yeah, here on the micro level, there isn't really any change. I think the altcoins are going to be more interesting today, but we'll see how Bitcoin manages when the stock market opens. I think the levels are crystal clear. Levels are super clear, and the trend lines are very well defined as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touch points. So yeah, definitely worth watching. Next resistance should be clear as well. We talked about that. Local trend is still up. Don't assume the trend is over until we have signals. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.